Good morning, everybody. It is Friday, January 4th, 2019, and a special edition of Coffee Time Friday with Missy Jenn. And good morning and welcome to all of you. A few things to cover off this morning. Unlike Elvis, I don't have to worry about what time I go live and whether I'm in prime time or who else is having a hangout. If there's a message to be delivered, you deliver the message. You talk to people. Good morning, Linda Francine.
Morning,
nice
Linda.
to see you. Hello,
Hi,
Andres. Ash, nice to see you this morning, honey. Hope you're having a wonderful day. BBE, how are you? Good morning to you. And Ash, hope you're having a good day in Arkansas. Kelly, good morning to you.
Hello, Kelly. Chile,
We're going to have some
Jennifer,
reflections on last night. And
Mother of three boys.
good morning, Mama, three boys. You're always on the road.
Be careful
driving
road.
those kids around somewhere.
Yeah.
Mama, three boys.
Hold on to that steering wheel tight.
What a sweetie. What a sweetie. It is our first Friday of 2019, and I have to say, Missy Jenn, it's off to a pretty wild bang start here, 2019. Yeah, Linda says, I'll say this, Dave, looked completely different from what I expected. For me, it was about what I would expected, a guy that's obviously battling significant health problems. And hello, Life Happens.
Joey D.
Good morning, Joey D. Cover off a few topics today. Life happens and now.
Yeah,
First,
life happens.
wait for a few. Yeah, some people hate those curtains behind. It's like this person left a comment. Rosie, take care of your turkey neck and take care of those curtains hanging in.
Hello, Cassidy.
Rosie, you turkey neck, pencil neck geek. Take care of those curtains behind you. Ain't no nightbot cares.
Hello, Charlotte.
Yeah, hi Cassidy. Good morning
We're having
to you.
A surprise.
It's obviously somebody that battles significant health problems, has a certain pallor about him and a certain grayness, and has obviously battling in pain on a daily basis. Good morning, Meep. Good morning to you. But I'm not here to make apologies for anybody. And certainly not to ever make apologies for somebody's behavior. I just want to cover off a few things on here. Oh, you love the curtains. Oh, look at the drop in the middle. Hello, Scottish. Good morning to you. How you doing, honey? Wait for a few more people. Yeah, she's fantastic, and she's the lady in pink. He looked very uncomfortable last night. It was, there was. We're going to get into that. We'll let a few more people come in here. I carried a message in last night, and the first thing I want to address, good morning, Beryl. Good morning, just Darren. And hopefully clear the way for 2019. Thank you. Yeah, we put the fireplace on because it's chilly and we have a rainy weekend ahead.
We even have we have a winter advisory for up northern.
Hi, Michelle.
North of us, and the entire Sierras have a winter storm warning. That was in effect last night.
Now, the first thing I want to talk about this morning, is regarding Missy Jenn and her not being on the stream or not being involved in the initial visit with Dave the fisherman. There was a definite reason. Jen, it's not that Jen didn't want to go or Jen was unwilling to go. Jen didn't want to be a part of what could be a fiasco for the first hour of meeting Dave. And that's the reality of it. Because I went in with a definite message and a definite agenda last night. And it was an agenda that could have gotten real ugly real fast. Okay, let's bottom line it. And if you think I ever want Missy Jenn to be a part of that type of scene, you got another thing coming. She's got enough problems in life. But did she intend? Does she intend to meet people to come to town to visit?
Oh, yes.
100%.
Indeed.
Absolutely. For sure.
Absolutely.
Okay. But I half expected last night, hey, Jeffrey, I half expected last night when I showed up and I had my initial discussion with Dave, which was pretty hardcore. I expected to be out of there in very short order and back on the road again. Hello, Glenn. Nice to see you. Love Boone,
Hello,
North
Glenn.
Carolina. Nice place. So I did not, nor would many of you, want somebody involved in that type of situation. So then, hence, you understand why I asked Missy Jenn do not, despite the fact that she was ready, willing, and eager, and dressed and ready to go. And I said, "Honey, we better just put the brakes on this tonight because this shit could go down bad when I go down there." Now, most people I've met, remember when I went down and I met Rory, and we had to meet up in 2015. There were,
Callie.
hey, yeah, hey, morning. There were, hey, Callie. There were people that went crazy about having that meetup of, Rory's this and Rory's that. But at the end of the day, Missy Jenn and I met somebody who was a real gentleman and treated us like royalty with kid gloves and was an exceptional person. This is the things that I care about when I meet somebody in person. So I had no idea. Thank you, Linda. I had no idea what would come down last night. Because I know I had to take a message to Dave while sitting in his company and with his wife there. And with a dog that I knew nothing about, that's obviously a different kind of dog. Whether I might be jumping over a balcony or running for my life last night. Who knows? So when I met Dave and we sat down and I met Becca and they were very good about Sophia. We sat down and we began talking. And I told Dave the things that had come down. And you got to remember, I don't have the same, what would I say, time behind the wheel that others did with Dave, because there were people that gladly paneled up with Dave all summer long. And little by little, as I gave the analogy of the comet coming into our solar system, little by little, people chunked off from that train as various things happened through the summer. But I was not on those panels. I wasn't sitting in there. I wasn't taking note of all that stuff because, frankly, I didn't care to follow it. Wasn't of interest to me last summer. Okay? But what was of paramount interest to me was the way my friends and I operate and do business here on YouTube. Thank you, Tango Z. Nice to see you. Ash says, I always felt Dave liked you. I never thought he would hurt you. Of anybody, 2 people on YouTube, he came the farthest towards acceptance from out of the blue of who I was. And but again, I don't ask anybody to accept. So it wasn't really, that didn't really make a big impact on me.
Hello, Keith Gregory.
Hi, Keith Gregory. You can associate with whoever you want. But the message I took in was the messages of my friends that as far as, Rosie, you reach a certain point in streaming and in live streaming and in Hangouts and things like that. And my friend Ellie put it best, it transcends. At a point it reaches, and I don't know what point of subscribers, I don't know what point of time I don't know exactly at what point it crosses over. And I think my friend Ellie said it best last year, was that it's bigger than you, Rosie. it's not just you on Hangouts. It's our time too. You have Cooper's Saturday nights. That's our special time. It's baking with Rosie on Friday nights, or pop-up hangouts here and there. And this is what we want to protect. We don't want those other chats and things to bleed into that. And yes, once in a while, you know, Elvis is invited to come in, because I'm always a person that believes if you're on good behavior and you can contribute something positive, same way with Bergs, the infinite wheel of hope continues to turn. But Dave was a special case because of all the stuff that came down over the summer, stuff that we'll never be able to factually prove one way or another. But the message that I took in last night, good morning, Free Birdie, was,
Morning, Free Birdie.
I can't have you on my chat streams. And then I closed my eyes and I waited for an explosion last night. Unhappy, of course. Uncomfortable, of course. But my friends mostly cared about protecting the sanctity of the streams that they like. The Greg, the Coop, the Ellie, and the other people that come on stream. I'm a much more freewheeling person in life. But I did agree to that for the sake of my friends, because I want them to feel welcome and happy, because, you know, it's been the same with Ellie since 2013, when she was one of my first probably 10 subscribers. I owe a lot to that, you know, to Ellie. And people like that to continue to make sure that the chats are places that they can come to and feel happy and have a good time and not have to worry about, you know, anything that comes down in the chats. Now, having said that, there's YouTube and then there's life. And I really believe it's the same story when I'm at the Drury and I got a lot of blowback. And believe it or not, when I was going to meet Debbie Lynn down in Greenville, South Carolina, there was a lot of people that wrote me about that because of the situation with Francis and all that. But Debbie Lynn, with hospitality, opened her home to me. And I judge Debbie Lynn on the relationship that she, I, and Missy Jenn have together. I cannot carry the burden of the way other people interact with people. There was a panel chat last night, and there was a person on that channel that has scored me for years. And do you think I'm happy with the people that sit on panel? I mean, if they knew the back history of this guy and me, do you think that they would be sitting on that panel and talking to him? Well, that's their right to. I don't write and pitch a bitch and say, oh man, you know, can't believe what's happened to me over the last couple of years with this guy since basically 2014. I move on and I let people have the associations that they want to have. And I don't try to pollute the environment of their hangouts accordingly. Greetings from Mexico. Thank you. I appreciate that. Nice to have people. And yeah, this is like the Debbie Lynn thing. I mean, what can Missy Jenn and I do? We're not living in South Carolina with Francis and Debbie Lynn. People express opinions. You know, they express opinions about the jewelry and meeting people. But I always believe that there's YouTube and then there's real life, and people don't have any right to tell you who to meet or not to meet in real life. Yes, they have the right to associate with you. But I went to great pains before meeting Dave to tell people this is exactly the message that I'm going to deliver. And Missy Jenn, that's exactly the message I delivered last night. And we came to an understanding about that, and then we could proceed to have a visit. And hopefully we're going to be meeting Sean the Brit tonight down there. And having a meet up, and I'm looking forward, and Missy Jenn will be there too tonight. Because she's made up her own mind what she wants to do with her life as far as meeting people. So things can cut a lot of ways on YouTube. People can think about projecting into other people's lives on YouTube what they should do and what they shouldn't do. But there's a lot of things that people sit quietly and watch on YouTube that affect them emotionally in a very negative way. But they understand in their head that this person, these people have a right to associate with the people they want, despite the pain that's been personally dished out to me. I don't go to that person and ask them, don't have this person on your stream because this is what this person's done to me for years. I respect the right for them to have on their streams who they want to have on their stream. I mean, you know, let's take the case of Lindy and Vegas Vixen. You know, I never knew what to think of Lindy. You know, all I heard was a one-sided menu of things about Lindy. And that was from Vegas Vixen, and people would talk about Vegas Vixen. Well, you know, when I met Vegas Vixen the last time, she couldn't have been happy about Lindy. But see, I judged Lindy on my own and got to know and observe Lindy over the months and months. And I came away with a dramatically different opinion about Lindy. I did not go ahead and allow Vegas Vixen's thoughts to influence my own individual feeling about the kind of person that Lindy is. Because I saw a person that was elegant, extremely well-spoken, with obviously a lot of heart to take it on what she's taking on now. And I'm not going to elaborate what that is. But when I formed that opinion, I could no longer subscribe to any other theory about what this person was and what this person's deal was, because I saw with my own eyes the character that she brought, the stand-up person that she is, the strength to not be bullied. But what I didn't do is I never once asked Lindy and Vegas Vixen to please give me the entire back catalog of what happened, starting with Wendy Lee and going back in time. Because I saw for myself and I judged for myself. Same thing with Lori Green.
Jeremy.
Hey, Jeremy. Same thing with Lori Green. I know how Lori feels about stuff, but I've met Lori Green in person 2 times. I judge her, and I judge her character, and I judge her to be a very nice person. But I don't tell Lori who to associate with. I don't ever disparage Lori because she goes on somebody's panel. who tremendously dislikes me. I respect her right of free association to go where she wants. So I've gone way, beyond the bounds of what I see going on other chats to make sure that my friends have a welcoming environment when they come to my chats. I do care, and I care a lot. Let's now get together. Let's now breach the subject of, Elvis last night. And another one of the State of the Steering Wheel addresses last evening. This guy can't stand that he's now a sideshow in what's going on YouTube. And he will tell you that I did not watch anything. I watched a little bit and then I went and I did something else. Well, let me tell you something, Elvis Travels. You sat there and you watched every single minute of that hangout because you moved up your little prime time address to the people so that you could clear your schedule to watch that hangout. Now, you're one that likes to talk. You're one that likes to talk about who watches and how many people you have and all that. You make people teach you lessons that maybe you don't want to have. Because, no matter who I sit next to me or whatever Tucker does, good morning. Good morning, Kit and Cat.
Good morning, Kit and Cat.
There's other people that have provided alternatives to prove that they're every bit as big of a show, and they're a show for positive force. Tucker Chats comes on last night, immediately has a lot of people flock to his channel. I was very happy, and I don't think my friends thought any worse of me that I went over and took some of the money, the great bulk. I haven't even done the final calculation, but everything I could immediately lay my hands on and donate that to Tucker Chat Streams in the name of St. Jude's, in the name of Awesome Hooker, because she's been such a good friend of mine and is a support for positive here on YouTube. I don't think my friends would be mad that I turned around and took those tips and passed them on to St. Jude's. Because at this moment in time, in these first days in 2019, they're a hell of a lot more important than I am, by a long shot. And I think Missy Jenn agrees with that.
Yeah.
No blowback on that. It's positive. It's the right thing to do. So when I tell you, Elvis, you're sitting there last night and say, I didn't get involved, you were in there posting comment after comment, trying to fat shame people, trying to make your comments, trying to get your 15 minutes of fame by piggybacking off the back of what's going on that particular hangout. You know why? Because you could not stand aside. Because you're such a drama queen that last night you tried to make it all about you and it failed. So I'm not one that talks numbers, but I can tell you this, Elvis, when I closed that mobile hangout and the thing flashes up, it said peak viewership 373 people. Now you're going to have a problem because when you go live, you're going to have Tucker Chats live. In other words, we had to talk, Missy Jenn and I, about paddling upstream versus downstream. And for your YouTube, you're going to continue paddling upstream. While other people are gone with the flow and paddling with the current, you insist on still paddling against it. So that means that people have to teach object lessons to you, that it's more than numbers out there. And I don't care what anybody says, because I'm not one. Other people talk about the numbers out there. But in the State of the Steering Wheel address, I could tell, Marshall, that you were really butthurt last night. That had a sting to it, because as soon as that numbers rose to a point where they far eclipsed what you ever did, you closed out and headed for the hills. So let's be real about stuff on YouTube. Absent what's going on in my life, you don't have any content on YouTube. There's nothing for you to talk about. Take the Lisa Marie in for some mechanical work, and you say a leader doesn't need anyone on panel. Maybe, did you ever think to yourself, Marshall, that it's not a case of needing, it's a case of wanting people on your panel? And therein lies the difference between you and most of the other people on YouTube, because we're willing to share ourselves and invite other people to be on and enjoy the experience of getting together. Thank you, Michelle Fury. He says that I call him during Hangouts when he was on an automatic distribution link for Hangouts. Well, I've turned that off now. Okay, so you won't get a random that just comes in with a notification there's a Google Hangout. I took care of that. Got no worries. But it certainly tore you up the last week that you weren't the show around here. Anybody can step up and be the show. Look at what's going on with Tucker Chats now. Look at what this guy's chosen to do. This guy's chosen to take a negative experience and make a total positive out of it. Total positive. Look at the way people have been supportive of me with tips. And I've turned off the super chat here while this visit's going on, because it's not the kind of content that I think I usually put up that deserves a tip now and then. Because I choose to give my money to Tucker at this point in time, because he's the big show right now and the big cheese in town. And I ask you, besides feeding a random feral cat and dropping 2 quarters in somebody's hand outside of a 7-Eleven, I haven't seen you step up and donate $1 to St. Jude's. I haven't seen you do anything when Laura needs $100 to pay for her medication. I've not seen you go forward and do that, despite the fact that she opened her home to you and showed you hospitality. And what did you do? You went ahead and took your shirt off in her house. You may say what you want in life, but I don't think Dave the fisherman would ever come to my house and take his shirt off, but nor would I want him to. That's the bottom line. Now we'll talk about Bergatron a little bit. Bergs, YouTube is a court of association, okay? That means that people subscribe and unsubscribe. I've had people that have told me I'm unsubbing you. In the last few days, new people have come along. It's a place where people come and go freely with their subscriptions here on YouTube. The people are judging every day what content they want to watch and where they want to be. So if I try to push the envelope here and tell people, sub to Bergs, let's get Bergs to 1,000. I would hope that you would get to 1,000, but there's getting to 1,000 organically. And then there's getting to 1,000 by forcing people to do things that they naturally do not want to do. Free association, free right to sub and unsub. So when I see you on there last night, hey, Keith Gregory, thank you. Hey, how you doing, Kevin Chambers? So when I see Bergs on there hooting and hollering with his usual hyperbolic chat about Rosie would meet anyone, Ted Bundy, blah, blah, blah. Bergs, you don't meet anybody.
That's a fact.
You don't video anything. You don't do anything.
That's another fact.
And yet I'm supposed to have people come and sub your channel so that they can hear sitting in a car, haranguing people, calling women the C word, verbally assaulting, Lindy Zoloft and other people that come into your chat that really want to try to be supportive, really want Oda Mae Brown. You're a CU. Well, you can fill in the rest of the letters there. And yet we're supposed to push you to 1,000. So when people go to your channel, because Rosie gives a recommendation that you go over and sub Bergs, their freaking hair stands on end, or they flip their wig because they can't believe what they're seeing. Where's the content? Reaper Man, this is Missy Jenn. Yeah, and then we get the messages the next day. How can we tell people do that when they're going to end up on a steel reserve? Sorry, Tucker. When they're going to end up on the on the losing end of a steel reserve harangue. The bottom line, Bergs, is you have to make your own way forward on YouTube. Just like Free Birdie, just like Missy Jenn, just like Tucker. And let me tell you, Tucker's had disappointment after disappointment. Battles health issues.
You got to reinvent yourself.
Battles YouTube music police and all that. But you know what? He comes back because he loves what he's doing. You know what? I admire that. He doesn't sit there and scream that hey, Andrea, he doesn't sit there and scream. You got to do this or you got to do that. He opens a nice chat platform where people can come and have a good time. Amazing. What he's never done is pulled off his headset and said, you know what, and got up to that camera and said, you effing, you better sub me or else. He has content. He has fun. There's a reason people want to come to that channel. There's a reason people open their wallets and their pocketbooks, because they can feel good about something positive. They don't have to worry about shit exploding in their face later about a dono or a tip they gave somebody on YouTube. And this goes for you too, Elvis. There's a positive feel-good experience to it. No blowback. So I think, Bergs, when you go ahead and make the content and you leave videos that actually stay up, and one of the big beefs of YouTube is people that put, people that do content, people that do streams and then take them down. Now, why would they take them down? Because they don't like the message that they put out, and they don't want other people to see that message. Plain and simple. My hangouts stay up, yours go down. Elvis, you're probably not gonna like what you see tonight. There might be 500 people on tonight.
And I think we're gonna have a good time.
You know, and you're once again not gonna like it because you're not the show. Because sitting behind the wheel, giving a state of the steering wheel address is not content for people. And I'll say that again. That's not content for people. So Bergs, if you want to get to 1,000 subs, and it's amazing to me you're at 800 now, then my best suggestion is do some content, turn the cam on, and give people a show. Okay, take some content, take people around the area and show them Seattle, Washington. Show them around the area and do something. It's really disturbing when you see people like Lindy Zoloft, who goes into your chat with a good heart and with good intention to be a positive person, and then treated with disrespect. You know, Lindy doesn't agree with everything that I do, but she knows that I respect the hell out of her. And if you think in a million years I would ever talk to her or Oda Mae Brown or anybody on here the way you talk to people, you got another thing coming. You cannot build success on a negative platform. And that's the truth.
Amen to that.
That's the truth. So I didn't appreciate your little harangue last night and your little diatribe about who somebody meets in real life or who somebody doesn't. Because a lot of times I don't like what the hell you do. And yet I still come and try to be supportive and to be a friend to you, and yes, talk about a laptop and all that kind of stuff, in the hope that maybe it will make you a real show and maybe you will turn the corner and do something positive in there. Hi, Cookie. I'm not really sure, Mom of 3 boys, because I've got Sean the Brit down in the area today. Luckily, we still have the sun out, and we're going to be getting together. Hey, Johnny D, nice to see you. Thank you. Negative works in the short term, but then it dies. That's right. Well, Free Birdie, you might build notoriety on the platform, but it's a slow grind, and there's a very high rate of attrition when that happens. And I'm not one to talk about numbers. Have you ever heard of the Westerfield House in San Francisco? I think I have. I think I have. Good morning, RV Radio. It's a platform like WWE when you choose to go negative like that. You're trying to emulate WWE and be the guy that comes into the ring that everybody hates with the mask on his head, who stands on the corner of the ropes and points up at the audience and flips them all off with the finger and says, I'm going to take your champion and put his head through the concrete here on the ground. What people hope, and what usually turns out is quite the opposite happens. The big mouth gets his face kicked in, and everybody gets to show that they wanted to watch. The old formula. The old formula. Well, I'm not worried. Look, like I said, he's my friend, and I care about trying to push in a positive direction on here. But at the end of the day, how much leverage do you really have with people? How much leverage did I have with Dave? But I could make YouTube the way I wanted to for my friends, and to have the positive hangouts where we don't have to worry about the lightning rod of problems. Okay. So I carried that message that my friends expected me to carry faithfully and diligently. But as I said before, when I meet somebody off of YouTube and in real life, that's my personal business. Just like it's your personal business who you meet and who you choose to associate with.
Correct.
Kevin Chambers, I'm not really going to be baking tonight. I'm going to be outside. Missy Jenn and I are going to meet Sean the Brit. We're going to meet up with Dave tonight.
Yeah.
And finish out the visit here.
I personally just want to briefly interject. I'm actually looking forward to meeting Becca and Dave and Sean. When somebody does take the effort to come into the vicinity in the area, no matter who it is, and then I'm always, just like the Rosie girl, more than happy to meet up with them, unless it is Slash and McGurk, But
Yes.
But seriously, it's a customary thing in general. When somebody takes the effort to come into your area, and offers to meet up with you, why not?
Thank you, Jordan Blue. Yeah, the first hour was probably the most. So, you don't think I took a deep breath when I walked into that hotel? Carrying all the thoughts, I think the positive thoughts about Jack Sparrow and my friends and all the hell and all the stuff and the EBS and other people, of course.
You meet on
mutual ground or whatever, or
like out, not at home, but on like
neutral ground. Yeah,
mutual grounds in somewhere
for that first meeting, because I really expected within I really expected within 15 minutes to be showing the door,
and then take it from there. I mean,
yeah, thank you, Quinny. Yeah, a lot of people notice my extreme discomfort.
I have met people from YouTube before I even knew Rosie. I have met people actually in 2008 when nobody here from any of you knew me. Actually, I have met people in person from YouTube, and we would meet somewhere in a public place, in a public domain, somewhere in a safe spot.
Hi, Catherine. Thank you, Reaper Man. Nice to see you on. And apologize
if somebody's like, hey, I'm in your area, do you mind meeting or whatever, just for a cup of coffee or whatever, have a talk, whatever. I watch your videos or follow your videos. Why not? So,
thank you, Reaper Man. I definitely want to go over your chat. I want to thank Papa Grizz. Special shout out to Papa Grizz for being here today. Sub up Papa Grizz. He does a nice chat. Also Reaper Man on here.
So that's just my 10 cents on that.
It was exceedingly uncomfortable. Exceedingly. but I didn't want there to be any expectations of my channel, because I was willing to do something that other people aren't always willing to do for me, and that's tailor the panel so I don't get offended out there because they're friends with somebody I'm not friends with, because I've never in my life played that card on YouTube, ever played that card. But I allow it to be played on YouTube here, but I separate real life from that. In other words, I've gone beyond and tried to do things that I don't necessarily see other people doing here on YouTube, to try to mold the YouTube channel here so that other people can be happy and come on Hangouts and have a great time and not have to worry about what goes on. Because as Ellie said, it's not really just all about you, Rosie. This is far different from Elvis Travels, when she says it's not all about you, it's about us too, and it's our place to come and enjoy. And I took that to heart in a major, serious way. Thank you, Papa Grizz. Thank you, Kitten
My
Cat.
sexies.
Like I say, I will meet people in town, and I will tell them exactly what I feel, just like I did last night. And when that's done and I've had my say and I'm satisfied that things are still going to be the same for me in terms of my perspective. Now, other people may feel the same and unsub and do it, and I respect that. Then I've done the job that I set out to do, because there was people that threatened me. If you meet Rory in Florida, we're going to do this, we're going to do that. This guy, is coaching negatively Elvis and stuff. I wanted to meet the guy myself and see what it was all about.
Joy is a great guy.
And, I formed a different opinion about Rory than other people have on here. But I met him in real life, which most of you will not do by choice, of course, but by not having the ability to meet people on there. So I'll state again, that first hour last night, I mean, you're sitting across the table from somebody that's basically a big guy, with a hell of a dog there. And, you're all of a sudden you're in the crucible. You got no idea what's the hell's going to happen. And all you have is your instincts to fall back on. And I didn't let people influence me for seeing things with my own eyes. Not to go backwards in time and say it's all cool, all that stuff, but just to say I met you, and this is the only way I can work going forward. And then from then, it was okay. Not happy, not ecstatic. Nobody jumps up and down. Nobody jumps up and down to hear that told to them. But I told it. Yeah, the dog is terrifying. I'm not going to kid you. I mean, that dog could have made mincemeat of me, but they control it well. Obviously, they love the dog. And I will also say about Becca was as gracious as she could be last night. It's kind. Didn't have a lot of the conversation. There wasn't really a lot to do. It was really Dave and I. But she sat down on Dave's stream. She stood behind me at the beginning of my stream. And I think that we just have to be very careful when we shame people for body. And, none of us are models. And least of all, Elvis Travels, who claims to adore BBWs and things like that. You meet people in person and it's like, this isn't what I expected at all. So, you can put what spin on it. I'm just being very honest about stuff and very straightforward. We'll get back to you. I'm sure we'll talk about it.
We took George on a
Yeah, that's right, Linda. I mean, dog is a beautiful dog, but you know, you have to be careful. But I'm just saying I mean, it's to criticize somebody on physical appearance and physical stuff. It's just something I don't engage in, and it's something that. Hey, Robin, thank you. Apology. It's something that I think Elvis has to be very careful when he engages in that in a negative sort of way, because it's diametrically opposed to what you continuously preach about, that you like BBWs and all that. There's a logical disconnect on there. Hello, Claire, Janie, nice to see you.
I think it's important for everybody to try to be positive. A positive person and be positive with others. This world would be a much better place.
Yeah, I got my friend Andrea W. out here. She gets a lot of blowback sometimes in the community, but she's a person that battles MS and goes forward in life. It's been positive towards us. But here's a perfect case in point. I would never dream of telling Andrea, even though she goes, as I said, on panels to people that I don't particularly care for, people that have done and said some horrendous and horrific things about me in the past. I don't hold Andrea responsible. I don't take it out on her because of who she associates with. I'm directly focused on the relationship that I have, as is Missy Jenn, with Andrea. And you talk to her all the time, week in, week out, on the phone. So I'm not going to be held to a different standard here on YouTube than other people, although I've taken great steps to protect my chats so that people can come and have a good time and have their own space where they can enjoy in there. I'm going to go and grab another cup of coffee. Well, Marshall and I have that common. We both encountered Dave and Becca and Sophia, and the dog is serious business there. I'm not going to kid you. But the dog was controlled very well last night, and in no particular time, except one particular time, when I felt a little threatened, the dog was under good control, not because of anything that they did, but in just transferring the dog out to the, to the outside. But at no point in time did I feel like I would be, in any sort of physical danger, because this dog could have made mincemeat out of me. It could have reduced me to a pile of mess in a couple minutes, okay? This dog is serious business. I'll be right back.
The Joe Redondo Trail. Well, we need to give peace a chance. A lot of stuff that's going on YouTube, I have no idea, because I don't watch a lot of this stuff. Hi, Nathan. I'm doing well. I slept 12 hours, so I'm well rested. I totally agree with Rosie. If anybody comes into the vicinity and they are willing to meet, we're always it's always nice to give it a shot. We even had in the past, it's about almost a year ago, a group of RVers coming through here, and one of them in particular, and I'm not going to mention names or nothing, stayed in Santa Rosa for almost a week. And we even offered that we could meet up, and this person chose not wanting to meet, and that's fine. So we will not twist arms to meet with us, but we're always open-minded to meet with people. You know, in public spaces, and being safe spaces. I mean, we're not all stupid. Of course, we're having our, we're making sure we're not gonna be like putting ourselves in harm's way. But let's see. So we got. I think a lot of people are also, just love mixing in the drama, and I'm a person, I really don't have time in my life for drama. I'm dealing with primary progressive MS. I already have enough to deal with that. So my motto is I have to deal with all that already. I don't need drama. So I keep my life simple, drama free.
No, don't leave. Grizz, don't leave YouTube. Guys like you are needed around here, okay? Don't let people steer your happiness, okay? That's the worst mistake that you can ever make, is to allow other people to grab the steering wheel of your happiness.
Right, just hang on to the people that have the joy, the happiness, like Rosie,
Yeah. I mean,
be here on Rosie's channel, watch Rosie, come to join.
Thank you, Four Horsemen.
Join Rosie's hangouts, and there's a lot of positivity always here, and stick with that.
And as far as Dave coughing and things like that, I can tell you at various points last night, he got up and excused himself and went into the bathroom, and you could hear him hacking there. And another time between our hangouts, I thought he was going to, because he was coughing so hard on there. You don't have to, look, you see somebody walking across the lobby from you, and I can see what's up. And somebody has a gray pallor to them and is in obvious distress, then yeah, there's something real going on there, okay? And yeah, one time I did almost run out because of the dog. Yeah, if it had been a horse, I would definitely be in my van and be back home, okay?
Oh, I love horses, and I love dogs. So
the dog is no joke, okay? The dog is super protective. Yeah, he's clearly extremely ill. I mean, there's no doubt about that.
The beauty about YouTube is you can pick and choose what you watch. You don't have to watch the shit shows. You can go and watch other stuff.
I don't know, Lindy. They tell me you have a horse farm down in Tennessee there, so.
That's great, hipster.
Teach stable riding, and
the pug will give you so much joy and fun in life.
I'll let Papa Grizz have the subs. I'm one. If anybody wants to come in here and promote what they're doing, I'm all happy about it. Do you believe the bar refused to sell alcohol? No, because they want to send up individual shots, and instead of selling, most hotels will sell a bottle or something like that. So you end up paying 10 times more per shot than you would for a bottle, and you can blame me with my economical talk, okay, about screaming goats.
I always wanted a donkey.
What the hell is a screaming goat?
A mini donkey, Andrea. We got something in common once again.
Within terms of what people do here on YouTube, if somebody wants to ask for things, that's fine. It's not my place to tell them to, but they have to steer their own boat through that. Or else, as you can see by evidence by Elvis on a daily basis, it's very difficult to to sustain yourself and do that. I don't know, Tucker. What the hell is a screaming goat? I don't know. I won't even go to a petting zoo because I'm so terrified by what's around there. Chickens, and do a YouTube for screaming goats.
Always imagine one thing: live every life as if it was your last.
Joe King, that's the first time in my life I've ever seen an enormous suite. Okay, I don't have that kind of wherewithal to have that kind of life. A goat or a boat, I don't know, maybe. I'll definitely look that up. Yeah, I've never seen them before. Well, I was, I'm an economical person, 4 horsemen, so blame me. That was my idea to try to get that. So, well, I hope not, Walmart weirdo. Yeah. I don't think Bergs would ever, he talks big deal. Hey, Debbie. I'm quite sure that Bergs would drop a pant load. He would say he's perfectly happy to meet, but then drop a pant load if it actually came to happen. Harvey, I hope you're feeling better. Yeah, I've heard of fainting goats. Hey, Tanya.
Hi, Tanya.
But I never heard of screaming goat in my life. It's very easy. It's very easy to sit in the garage. It's very easy to sit in a car and tell people from the distance of 800 miles what you're going to do and if somebody comes for you. And I just harken back to the little meeting, and the place that Elvis went wrong was inviting somebody and taunting somebody to come and visit you.
And drink a cup of coffee together.
And then when Dave took you up on that and showed up, you ran for the hills. You ran for the hills. I mean, that speaks volumes. So, Bergs, don't talk to me about what you're going to do when you meet an imposing-looking guy with a dog that you better take damn serious. Don't tell me what you're going to do, Bergs. Tell me how tall you are and what a tough guy you are. It's easy to do from 800 miles, but when you're standing in front of the guy looking up, it's a totally different story. Or when you're confronting face to face with the dog next to you. I love that garage courage. Goes so long on YouTube. That ferocity of the microphone. Hey, Yujiro. You too, Lindy. Thanks for stopping by. I appreciate seeing you. Thank you. Yeah, I mean, it's very easy. I mean, if you want to talk about being grown up and being manly and standing on your own 2 feet in life, then stand on your own 2 feet. Live the life that you profess that you think that you should have. To come on there and scream into people that they've got to sub you and you owe me this and I'm the show. Imagine if I started out my YouTube career acting like that 6 years ago. They would have probably paid a plane to drop a low-level nuke on the Rancho here. things I can't even imagine that people do. Can't even imagine saying that people say on here, calling people the C word and insulting Oda Mae Brown and people like this, and Lindy Zoloft. SMH, shake my head. So don't ever ask, don't ever talk about what I do, Bergs. Look at your own reprehensible behavior and then ask if anybody would ever be willing to meet you. You talk to women like they're dogs. Hey, Janelle, nice to see you. Yeah, Dave's a big guy. Yeah. You can see him standing next to me, and I have my lifted shoes on there. Hey, Michelle. Kitten cat. Yeah, I don't think he's happy. And good morning, Sean the Brit. Nice to see you. Looking forward to seeing you this afternoon. You will have a good time. I came away with some compassion, for a high degree of compassion for, Becca, to be dealing with the probable certain loss in a not too distant future of a spouse of many years. I'll just leave it at that. I mean, there's a couple of heartrending, tearful moments last night. I have to wrap my head around that a little bit. I have to wrap my head daily around what Missy Jenn does in fighting her debilitating disease, what Andrea does in fighting hers, and all the friends that I have that battle tremendous health problems. Thank you, Michelle. I appreciate that. Sometimes you just have to have some basic compassion. But when I hear somebody like Bergs going off and, one night being kind and one night taking Oda Mae Brown to the woodshed, or taking a Lindy Zoloft out,
Hi, Michelle.
and calling them the C word, Bergs, that makes you really the negative force of YouTube. You're the negative force. You're probably worse than Ted
Lisa.
Bundy. Hey, Lisa Yarborough, nice to see you.
Yeah, that makes you the basement of YouTube.
But you know what? These people like Hipster Heaven, these people like Andrea, these people like Lindy Zoloft, these people are stronger than hell. Jessica Jennifer. These people have backbone. These people have incredible strength. And nothing that you say is going to bend or bow them at all. No, Hipster, I'm not telling you anything you probably don't already know about yourself. You have tremendous personal strength. And nothing on YouTube ever bows you, or, you just have that strength that I admire. Well, Mr. Market Basket, that's a good idea. Hi, Vinny. Nice to see you. And thank you, Vinny. And, that's the bottom line. So don't ever come on in a garage or in a car and tell me what I should do and what I shouldn't do. Because I would hope, if I ever talk to anyone on YouTube the way you talk to some people on your Hangout, I would hope that Missy Jenn would grab a pillow in the middle of the night and just finish the job. But yet you keep reappearing here and you keep trying to take the high ground of preaching here on YouTube, and it's ridiculous. That's exactly right, Jerry Volmer, and that's exactly the words that I said last night. Just because you have health issues is never an excuse for behavior on YouTube. 100% correct. Nobody gets a pass. Nobody gets a pass. Yeah, real life, that's right, Sharon. Real life has a way of making you stronger than you ever thought you could be. I never thought, that I would be meeting half the people, because a lot of people that I met on here, I've already mentioned Debbie Lynn, came with a tremendous amount of initial blowback when the plan was unveiled to meet people on Missy Jenn's 7,636-mile journey in 17 days last February and March. The blowback was terrific on meeting some of these people. But you meet them, you look them in the eye, and you make your own assessment. You cannot let other people make your deciding for you. Well, it's YouTube, Nathan. The thing that surprises me and the thing that blows me away, Nathan said, it's very sad in this day and age that people have to go behind a computer just to put people down. Very sad. What blows me away is that people that can hide behind a computer still choose to be very positive on YouTube. We'll never know who they are. We'll never see them on cam. They'll never be doxed out, but yet they come on every day with a good heart and a light heart and happy and positive. That's what blows me away, Missy Jenn. When they could use a platform for hate, they come on here and 90% of the people choose to be positive and uplifting. And we'll never know who they are, and they'll never be on cam. And sometimes I'm just blown away by the kindness of people that can enjoy life behind anonymity. It blows me away. Says a lot about human nature. Hey, JK NoCal, nice to see you.
Woo, and hi, Claire. Thank you.
Yeah,
Claire.
Missy Jenn is lovely. And I'm calm. You got to keep your wits
You're
about
a calm
you
lady, that's right.
on here. But you can never give anybody else control over the steering wheel of your happiness or what you do in real life. Ever. Jessica Jennifer in the house. Nice to see you. Yeah, after the initial, that's right, Janelle, after the initial shock waves and earthquake of the first hour of the meetup, yeah, things were okay from that point forward. And they were very gracious hosts.
Hi, Linz. Adams.
Well, thank you, Linz. Thank you. Any Debbie Areola special Happy New Year to you. I hope you got our Christmas card this
Happy
year.
New Year to you.
Yep. Glad to see you around the chats. Yep, JK NoCal in the chat. As JK NoCal would say, Allah snack bar.
Jackie.
Jackie Macy, how you doing, sweetie?
Nice to see ya. Jackie now. Woo, Happy New Year. That's right. Stay strong and stay true to yourself. And I know I have said in the morning shoots about New Year's resolution that I am not gonna have any New Year's resolution on that I'm just perfect the way I am. I am always seeking to continuously improve myself and becoming an even better person.
Hello, Ravens and Ribbons.
So,
and I thank you. I don't live or die by thumbs up and down. Okay. On January 3rd, 2016, I set up my YouTube channel. And it gave you an option to turn the thumbs up or down. And I chose to leave that function on, and I never turned it off all these years. Elvis Travels, you have it turned off. I have it turned on. I'm willing to let the people make a vote on a stream or on a channel.
hi, Blinky.
I don't try to shape the message. Hello, Blinky. Happy New Year to you. I don't try to shape the message or the way that people vote on here. And I guess, Marshall, that makes you a snowflake. Yeah, it's weak. People that disable the thumbs up and the thumbs down. I appreciate that. That is a small way that you can. I appreciate it. Yeah, it's a special snowflake syndrome. Like I melt in the heat and disappear. So there's so many ways, Elvis, that I have it all over you. Okay. And that's just one of the ways. And I don't come on here and say, I am the show. The people are the show on YouTube, and you know it. Hello, Diane.
Hello, Diane. Nice to see you.
Yeah, I'm made tough like you, Jessica. You're the mold of toughness here on YouTube. Well, I am. I mean, look, here's a case in point. You know, Kitten Cat. I've said many times, Kitten Cat wanted to take my head and ram it through a wall. I don't try to block Kitten Cat. I don't try to do anything. I face what people want to say about me. And that's the reality. Because Kitten Cat hasn't always approved of the things I've done. I'd say most of the time disapprove, but she has a right to be heard. Well, you know, Kitten Cat, what I'm saying is, you know, you've been a force, you know, for definitely speaking your piece, and a lot of times very logically on here. Blinky, I hope you're doing well. Happy New Year to you down in Australia. Nothing but wishes for good health for you, Blinky. My goodness,
Yes.
The stuff you've gone through. Now, people might say, and this is the last thing I'm going to talk about today, what you do for friends and how you stand up for friends. You know, it's what you do on a daily basis. Like if I look at Andrea W., her video that goes up, or I look at Blinky's videos, I engage people on a daily basis. Papa Grizz, try to stop by his chat streams. The list just goes on and on as people's names roll by. Harvey, although I don't connect with very few stuff Harvey does because I forget to sub up on my Rosie O'Kelly channel. People know that I care enough to watch people know I care enough to watch their videos and to be engaged. That's what friends do on a daily basis, like Vinny G. Gone to see Vinny G, who I admire very much, and catching his streams. And today I commented on his Melbourne stream because this is somebody I like to follow. And a friend will take the time and effort to do that. A true friend that has the option and the wherewithal, it's not mandatory, but we make the effort to send out close to 600 Christmas cards. And Missy Jenn works her ass off, gathering addresses and putting addresses on. And we take the financial expense to go out there and buy $300 worth of stamps to send out Christmas cards. Why? Because we value our friends, and most of them are never going to come onto YouTube and say anything. But we know we put a smile on their face. That's true friendship.
Have a good day, Debbie.
Take care, Debbie. Or going over to Tucker's chat and donating money, or stopping by Vinny's stream and supporting Vinny's stream as he supports mine. So don't ever question my friendship on YouTube, because Missy Jenn and I go above and beyond 99% of the people here happily. Not that we expect them to, but we love to do it. They love you just as much as we do, but we like to take that extra step to say thank you, we love you guys, and you mean a lot to us here on the channels. watching videos, commenting on videos, you know, trying to help people. Like the month of December just flat out laid me out on YouTube financially, flat out. Because from many directions, many calls, and how many times did I say, what came in today, Missy Jenn, or, you know, this is what this person needs. And they came to me because they knew I would say yes. Well, it was a tremendous detriment to me for the month of December. But it is what it is. That's true friends. Maybe one day they'll come forward and say something, but it's not my place to say it. Missy Jenn knows. That's friends. You are part of the community, Darren, by just being here. So I don't ever want friends to question my loyalty or feel like they have a right to direct my real life apart from YouTube, because they don't. But I pledged last night, and I contacted some of these people and said, you won't be disappointed, because I'm going to continue making my chat streams a positive place where you can be, where you don't have to worry. Yeah, it's great. I'm looking forward to meeting you, Sean. You don't have to worry. Nothing's going to change. I know of nobody else that's ever made that concession to me. There's a great friend of mine that has somebody in their channel continuously that hates my guts. That the night that we went fishing and crabbing in late November of 2018, this person who was a wrench holder in my chat,
have a good day, Joey D. Love you,
came onto my chat and insulted my best friend, Janet. I removed the person's wrench. I removed them from the chat stream and blocked them, because I don't care what people say about me, but I do care about what people say about my friends. This person is welcomed with open arms on virtually every other chat, holds a wrench in those chats, and on some chats continues to excoriate me because I stood up for a friend, and never once made an attempt to apologize to me. Did I write my friends and say, hey, look at what this person, did I whine like a baby because this person has busted my balls for years relentlessly, no matter how kind I've tried to be? No, because I let my friends have the live streams that they want to have. Because it's not my place to tell people who to have on their stream or not to have on their stream. So you know what I do? I just suck it up. Because that's the strength that I have. I wouldn't dream of contacting them and telling them do this or do that. Hello, Skiwee. Happy New Year to you. JK NoCal is a friend. He's a friend that I've happily met 2 times in real life, him and his beautiful wife. And one of the nicest couples that you would ever want to meet, one of the happiest couples. I've never seen 2 people so happy in love and generous and warm-hearted and a proud member, OG boy on here, who Missy Jenn and I love to pieces. Man skills with carpentry, with anything. The ultimate go-to time. Absolutely, Tango says, Rosie, I guess it means you understand your friends get angry when Elbow insults you. Of course. But they've come to the realization that I'm going to continue to try to be a friend to Elvis, to try to get him to turn his YouTube canoe around and paddle with the current instead of paddling upstream, because there is no family, you know, and this I believe is everybody needs somebody in life to try to be a positive force and to try to move people in a positive direction, not by giving money. I gave $10 at Christmas because I think everybody deserves a little something at Christmas time. And that was a little something. She's getting a cup of coffee there, Skiwee. I mean, Skiwee's another person on YouTube that has just been years no fan of mine, but I'm not a snowflake. He or she has a right to what they want to say on here. Vinny G, thank you for your kindness last night. I appreciate that. Of all the people that run streams on here, you already know yours is the stream I most admire for what you do and the style and the investment that you make and the care you take. Not everybody always agrees with you, man. Many times they want to grab the pitchforks and the tar torches and come after you and haul your arse all the way to Sydney and hang you off the coat hanger bridge there. But day after day, you provide the entertainment and content on YouTube. Yep, Georgie. Happy New Year, Georgie.
Yep, this is Georgie. Georgie Borgie, that's right.
There's another guy in the other chat that Skiwee mentioned.
Scarlett.
Despite ever trying to be friendly with this particular person, it's a person that wants to try to reinvent and rewrite history from the past. And because of his negative behavior and untruthfulness, has perpetrated lies that people like Jody Tovar have picked up and run with and now adopted as their own. This is the sad part of YouTube. A person that claims that I've made negative and hateful and terrible videos, despite the fact that Missy Jenn's been with me since July of 2013, and Nicole Green has been with me since January of 2013, and Francis since January 13. And not one of these people can ever remember in their memory a negative video that I put up about anybody.
Hello, Sherry.
Why? Because anybody who knows my nature knows that I don't do that on YouTube. I've had 2 mass explosions on YouTube. And Blue Waffles is well documented, downloaded them. One was with Amanda May, and one was with Jimmy Rance and Company. Apart from those 2 videos, I have never in my life on YouTube ever made a negative video about anyone. Period. But yet people take that lie and go with it. Thank you, Joe King. Hello, Sherry Russell. Been with me forever. Sherry Russell's been with me since day 2 in 2013. Watched every one of my videos. Not my nature to do that. 2019 is going to be a little different. I'm going to be calling out stuff this year. Winging it a little more. correcting history on YouTube because I have a right to. No. Have you restored that stereo radiogram yet? I'm not sure. I'm working on the H.H. Scott that blew up in my face, so I'm still waiting. Some parts are back ordered. I buy from Mauser Electronics. They say, do you want them to ship what we have now? I'm like, no, I want everything at one time. I don't want to have little bags coming in every now and then. G Mango, it's nice to see you.
Hi, Michelle. Best
Happy New
wishes
Year
to
to
you
you,
with your cat
Michelle. That's what I'm saying,
Love you
Tango.
too.
Therefore, when people can't come out in their real name and things, their critique and their criticism most of the time just bounces off of me. Because they lack the one thing that I have, which is courage to stand up on YouTube and to be seen and to do things and to meet people. And they choose to hide behind the cloak of anonymity. So how much credence do I give that? It's almost like the Wizard of Oz. Don't look behind that curtain, Bergs. Go Ravens. There we go, baby. Lamar Jackson.
Hello, Vanessa. Yeah, Evelyn, I was kind of wondering about the choke and hang.
Harvey says I'd like to buy. You know, those H.H. Scotts, those 232Bs are very rare. And they're very finicky. The fact that that fucking thing blew up on me, even though that I had that thing on a slow go to reform those electrolytic capacitors,
Hello,
you just never know. Hello, Douglas. Happy New Year to you. Yeah, I mean, Bergs always complains that I don't contact him.
Hey, Sammy.
But every time I go to call Bergs, the phone is off the hook or his mother picks up. What am I supposed to do? Yeah, that was a crazy video.
Yeah.
So, yeah, namely the part where the lion pulled his own tail. And I'll say this, Meep. I will say this. The only part of The Wizard of Oz, that whole movie, that glorious movie, one of the glorious movies that made 1939, the pinnacle year of Hollywood, 80 years ago, with Mr. Smith Goes to Washington, Gone with the Wind, and The Wizard of Oz, some of the biggest classics that we still watch to this day. Dark Victory. The thing I never understood was the first time that Dorothy, the Tin Man, the Lion, and the Scarecrow entered the hall of the Wizard of Oz, and the Wizard of Oz yelled, "How dare you in the presence of the great and powerful Oz? Now go!" Gave the mission of him to bring the broom of the Wicked Witch of the West. But he might kill us. The lion turned around after being yelled at by the wizard and with full speed ran down the aisle of the wizard's hall and plunged right through a window with no concept what was on the other fucking side. Could have been 50 stories off the ground. Could have been 3 feet. Who in the hell knew? One of those strange,
Nathan.
Take care, Nathan. One of those strange and weird things in movies that just never made sense to me. That's right, Diane. Clicking my lit up like Judge Judy. I can't believe that's the real Skiwee in here. I just see this is Skiwee throws me off my game when he's not insulting me in here. Whiskey Time to lose those blue velour curtains. There you go, Whiskey. Why don't you come down and decorate?
Wasn't there one
And
of
then
the,
you can take it out and trade, brother.
one of the little men who had hung himself in the?
I don't know.
There was somebody that hung themselves on the set.
I'm not sure. I don't think anybody hung themselves. But I'm saying, Whiskey OG, the juggernaut's rolling your way next, my friend. And you're going to have a decision to make. And you're going to have the input. And brother, what are you going to do?
It was a munchkin, yeah. A munchkin had hung themselves, and it was it was on the movie. You can see it.
Cobra John, I want you to go to my YouTube channel, my channel page, and I want you to click on playlist. You're going to see vintage audio rescue missions where I actually go out with either Bobby, my old Vietnamese gardener, and rescue vintage audio pieces. You can go to another playlist. It's called Vintage Audio Restorations, and you can see well over 100 videos painstakingly restoring many of the videos that are on the wall here. You can go to another playlist called Vintage Audio Listening Experiences on here, where you can see these restored pieces featured on the wall of sound. I've told everybody before, this is the most extensive collection of videos you will ever see on a YouTube channel, covering vintage audio restorations, the building of the wall of the sound, 100 moonshine videos making moonshine. One of them which is called From Grains to Glass. That's a huge video on YouTube. Restoration videos, how to loosen stuck galvanized pipe, how to make trimless windows, how to rough in a shower mixer, 500,000 views, and climbing. Restoration videos, building a wheelchair ramp for Missy Jenn out front, renovating the shine shack, converting the bathroom from a step-in tub to a roll-in shower. Missy Jenn wasn't here 2 months and I put her to work here on the Rancho. Demo, big job, beautiful result. Shine shack. There's videos about the gun range. There's baking videos, naughty nighty baking. There's bikini baking videos. There's metal detecting videos. Every genre travel videos going back to June of 2013 when the boss, Bobby, Janet, and I went to Reno to see Joan Rivers' last show. I mean, there are trips to Vegas with Elvis and Vegas Vixen and Marty from Day Drifter Van Life. There's so many videos. And then you have the Rosie Murphy channel, which is a whole new to many of you. 1,000 more videos over there. Then you have Jen and Rosie Reality TV. And for the people that say you put up so many videos because you're a narcissist, blah, 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 it's because you're jealous because you have nothing worthwhile to share in your life. I have stuff I love sharing every single day. It's brought me a lot of pain over the years. It's brought my family members a lot of pain. Professional life a lot of pain, to the extent that police and the legal had to be involved. And I always thank God there was one person, Balefire Bonnie, who was a trans sister of mine and a retired police officer from Florida, who has been the guardian angel on my shoulder for years. When I've had any kind of real life problems here on YouTube, she has been tremendously helpful to me. And I will leave it at that. So I have to say you're freaking me out today. I don't like the positive, happy skiwi, because it's uncomfortable. So, flipping the script as usual. You did the same thing when you were having your kidney stone last year. You said, I'm going to be a nice person for 1 week, and then I'm going back to form. Oh, thank you, Quinny. No, I'm not happy about the whole domino situation. Did you say hi to Skiwi?
Hi, Skiwi. I'm kind of ominous about the Skiwi situation.
Yeah, Missy Jenn's guarded about the Skiwi.
I'm very careful. I'm wearing my bulletproof vest underneath of this pink sweater. I'm very well guarded today.
Thanks for the enthusiasm.
You're very welcome, Skiwi.
Well, Skiwi's a legend. He's a guy that lives in his Prevost bus in Indiana out there. Been a long time member of the community, knows every single thing that happened from the first hangouts that Rory did back in 2014, 2015. Yeah. So, yeah, we're going to go ahead. We're going to get the rest of our day underway here. I wanted to give a few reflections on the meeting last night. My initial first hour with Dave, the message that I took, Dave, from not just me, but from my friends that enjoy a place to hang out without having all the controversy. And the fact that, that message was delivered faithfully. And also to give a little message to Elvis for continuing to try to ride the coattails of what goes on around here. And also Bergs, to lift your game. Look at the way you address people before you talk about meeting people in real life, and Ted Bundy's and Wayne Gacy's and all the people that you want to talk about. Look at the way that you treat people on a daily basis, and ask people if they really want to get you to 1,000 subs on YouTube. Thank you, Janelle. Nice to see you, Quinny, Kitten Cat. Thanks for popping by. Skiwi. Everybody have a wonderful day, and we'll see you tonight. Make sure we'll probably do a live stream. And Missy Jenn will be meeting, and we'll also be meeting Sean the Brit. Definitely looking forward to meeting Sean. I have seen him on cam before. Well-spoken bloke from the UK, so I'm looking forward to seeing him too. Rock and Robin, take care. Andrea, take care. Have a super day, Diane.
Hugs, love, and kisses to each and every one of you.
We'll be going to the P.O. box, so thank you, Diane. Merry Christmas. Much love to you and the fur balls down there. Have a good one, Joe King. Thank you, Linda. We will see you tonight. Thanks, everybody. Mwah.